Had a chance to see him. A bunch of the other runners compete last weekend over at the regional at First Academy, and he looks to be in really, really good shape right now. Ryan Goose out of Trinity Prep.
So the 10 points by Stephanie of Maclay gives Maclay 34 points, and now all of a sudden, Dr. Bob, they are only 4.5 points behind Calvary Christian.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I think on both the girls and the boys' side, it's going to come down to maybe that final event.
May have pronounced the name wrong there, so you might have to help me with.
Yeah, Ryan Goose. Ryan Goose out of Trinity Prep.
Okay, thank you.
Going off to William and Mary next year. State champion for 1A in cross country. Holds the fastest time in 1A. His teammate, the second fastest time right now in this field as well, Daniel Salas, who's gone 4:20 at the regional meet last week, as he tucked in right behind Ryan at that regional meet and was dragged to a really fast time. Fastest time in the state, regardless of classification. Andres Arroyo, 4:11.76 out of Colonial at the FSU Relays back on March the 22nd. So Trinity Prep could get some points in this race that will really help them towards the end of the night, as we're underway with the boys' 1,600-meter finals at the 1A state championships here at Hodges Stadium. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out tactically again, Mike. You know, these guys know that they've got some more running to do later on this evening. You've also got Daniel Moore in this race.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that because, you know, even if you don't win the race, it's important that you get some points. And Daniel Moore out of Holy Trinity, you know, Holy Trinity was the odds-on favorite on the boys' side to win. So even just placing and getting some points is very important, even if you don't win the race.
Yeah, and Holy Trinity's got a freshman in this race, Daniel Welch. Great, great runner, multi-sport athlete. So it's Ryan Goose, Daniel Salas, Daniel Moore, and Jordan Brown out of PK Young, and Scott Simpson out of King's Academy. 63 seconds for that first 400. And a little bit surprising that Salas is taking the lead. I really thought that Goose would be up there kind of controlling the tempo. Now back in third, Daniel Moore. And they're starting to get a little bit of separation, those three, from the rest of the pack, with Jordan Brown from PK Young presently in fourth. So Salas doing the heavy lifting up front. Goose in second, Daniel Moore in third. You got to really like the way that Daniel Moore runs. You know, a lot of times when I take a look at these races, I go, that's a form I'd like to emulate. And Daniel's got one of those forms. So it's Salas, Goose, and Moore with Jordan Brown back into fourth, and then another 10 meters back. And here we're starting to see that second pack start to move up a little bit now. These guys 63 after the first 400, and they're going to come through at 2:0. We'll call it 2:10. So 63-67, slowing it down quite a bit. And now Goose into the lead, Salas in second, Daniel Moore in third, and Jordan Brown out of PK Young, kind of in no man's land. He's got the rest of the pack behind him though, that will start bearing down on him. It'll be interesting to see if Jordan is able to go with these guys. Daniel Moore looks to be running a smart race back in third. He's not making a whole lot of lead changes, you know, trying to get up into second at this point. He is right on the heels of Salas as they come through 2:43 after 1K. Jordan Brown holding on to fourth. Well, if it comes down to a sprint, all three of these guys can really, really kick. Probably Goose has got to be the odds-on favorite. Question is, can Daniel Moore outkick Salas for that second spot? You know, I'm not going to give it to Goose right now, but I know he's got a really strong kick. We'll see who brings it tonight as they come up with one to go. And now Jordan Brown giving up that fourth spot back into fifth, crossing in 3:16. So a 66 on that lap. Moore still kind of hanging out back in third. Salas just off the right-hand shoulder a little bit and aft. of Ryan Goose. 300 meters to go now down the backstretch. It's these three and then 30 meters back to number 4. And that is Jordan Foster, I believe, out of Circle Christian in 4th. Moore making a move into 2nd. Goose covering it, not giving up the inside rail. So it's Goose, Moore. Salas looks to be off the back a little bit in 3rd. They're going to go through a couple more gear changes here. And Goose, I think, has got a couple more gears that he could use. Coming off the final turn. Does Moore have one more challenge in him? We saw him come up big at Great American. And it looks like he's going to pull ahead and even. This is going to go down to the wire. Goose able to hold him off on the inside as he looks back. It's not. Oh, he almost gave it up. Daniel Moore right at the line. Salas will get 3rd. Coming across in 4th. That will be out of Circle Christian, Jordan Foster. Brown will hold on for 5th. That was the kind of finish you like to see.
Wow.
If you're a Holy Trinity fan, not so much if you're a Trinity Prep fan. You know, I'm kind of wondering if he was saving himself for the races later on and just doing what he needed to do, Ryan Goose up front. Hopefully it didn't cost him. Well, there it is. 4:17.16 to 4:17.18. It doesn't get much closer than that,
no,
Mike.
It doesn't. And Daniel Moore, giving credit because at the end he leaped out, reached out and just he almost pulled the thing out.
Almost pulled it off. That was an unbelievable race to the finish. Salas gets 3rd. So Trinity Prep racking up some points and Holy Trinity getting some points at the front end of that race as well.
All right, and back to the award ceremony for the girls' 1,600-meter run. Again, your state champion, Stephanie Kurgat of McClay High School, a junior, brings home the gold. Caitlin Greenleaf, who's headed to the University of Alabama.